Hey everybody, Scout Crafty here again. It's Wednesday, and today's going to be a midweek mega mosh. You know, we have a lot of stuff to get to today, so sit back, relax, and let's try and get through a bunch of different subjects. The first thing I want to talk about, the reason we're doing this is because I was so busy this week. You know, I had that finish up my dental appointment, and everything went good. Great dentist. And I said, you know, I was thinking, if you're like me, which I know a lot of you are, you like to know how much things cost. I know I always do. Whenever I see somebody, I always ask about price. And you know, some people are really private about prices. You know, like if you say, you know, how much are they? Well, don't worry about it. Don't worry about how much. I never understood that. I never understood the privacy with that. I'll tell you whatever, anything you want to know. I'll tell you how much things make, how much I make, anything. Money, you know. So I always wonder when people are real private about, you know, even if you ask them, how much does that car cost? I could look it up online, you know, and they're like, hey, don't worry about what I paid. I don't understand that. Anyway, so when I had to get my dental work done, I had to have a tooth extracted, a broken tooth. That was, for that, and obviously the x-rays that go with it, was $550. That first visit to extract the one tooth. Now, I don't have any coverage because I'm retired. I have no dental. And a lot of dental coverages aren't that great to begin with. But so that was all out of pocket, it's called, when you pay for it cash. So it was $550 to pull the tooth. And the next visit was to take out a filling and refill it. You know, they did that old metal filling that they used to put in. They take that out and they put in the new white filling, you know, like the Bondo. Anyway, to do that was $315. So just in case, because I know right now there are people out there going, that ain't too bad, that sounds reasonable. And there are other people in other parts of the country probably going, wow, that's a lot of money. But this is, you know, New York prices, okay? And so that's what the dentist cost. Next up, it was a great week for YouTube videos. A lot of you guys are putting out some great videos, but I have to say, I might have seen possibly one of the greatest screwdriver restorations I've ever seen by my good friend 357 Magdad. If you have not seen this restoration of a screwdriver, he moved us up to the next level. Outstanding job. You have to see it. 357 Magdad just took us to the next level on screwdriver restorations. Amazing job. Go check out that video. Okay, first up, a few weeks ago, a good friend of the show, Kris Hookstrat, and he has a good nickname. It's Hook. You know, it's always great to have a nice nickname, right? Like, you know, from your name, you know, so Hookstrat, and they call him Hook. Whereas, you know, some nicknames are not so flattering, like, you know, Noodles, something like that. So, but Hook, he wrote me, and he's, you know, a long-time scout leader. He has 2 sons at an Eagle, another one on the way, you know, a long-time scouter. And he said, I was looking through some of your old videos. I see you like pencils. He says, I got some great pencils that used to be from my, he used to have a drainage, he was a drainage contractor that they used to put drains in farm fields and things like that. That was his father and his uncle's business, but then it became his and his father's business. And great stuff, a great guy. He has his own channel called Hooks Outdoors, and he does all kinds of outdoor, I'll have a link in the description, all kinds of outdoor stuff. And, you know, he just started the channel a few months ago, great guy. But he sent the package into the show. He wanted to send the pencils, but he got a little carried away. Let me show you what he said.
Now, I was waiting for an envelope with a couple pencils, and this is what came in the mail. So let me show you what's in here. Now, what I didn't know is that Kris is a salesman for Kimball's Midwest, and he has, I mean, imagine having all these fantastic products at at your fingertips, and what great stuff. Now, I didn't even know about Kimball Midwest until now, when we have something here in my town called Travers Tool Company, which is, I guess, similar. It's an industrial supply. But apparently this place, they pick and choose on what products they're going to offer. And it's supposed to have some really good stuff. And I'm looking over the product, and it's just amazing stuff. You know, he sent some stuff. He said this stuff here, for example, that they're called a Torque CB penetrating oil. He says this stuff works fantastic, better than the 50/50, and it smells really, really good. It's always a nice thing, and it's nice to have that applicator with a straw that you can get into spots like that. Then another product that's kind of rare to unusual, but only they have, is this One Punch 2. It's called Heavy Duty Hand Cleaner, and this has pumice in it. Anything that has pumice really gets that grease and grime out. So I'm anxious to try this again. It smells really good. Sent a bunch of these gloves. These gloves are always great. I don't know if you ever use these gloves. You need something with when you get a regular cotton or nylon glove, everything slips out of your hand. When you get this, can you hear it? That's a very grippy surface. These are always great to have. File handles. Can we never have enough file handles? I always, unfortunately, I don't get a lot of my files on file handles, but they're always good for other things too. They must have their own whole line of hardware too, which, can't have enough great hardware. These are, you can see here, these are like miniature lag bolts and great stuff. They're sheet metal screws, they're called, but when they have the hex head on them, they're real heavy duty. Look at that. Very decorative, nice. These will come in really handy. I guess somebody makes an electrical tape from them. I'm interested to try them out, because even though I'm a Scotch 33 fan, but when you see UL listed, that's the key. You got to get UL listed stuff. And some fender washers, we always use them. Over here, you see this? It looks like a regular marker, Dura ink, but look at this. It's got that long tip applicator, and I always wanted one of these because, this gets in. If you have to make a line like in here or something, if you had to transfer a line, you could get in here and transfer that line in something deep. So really good to have. I always wanted one of these. Got to make sure I put that in a spot where I won't lose it. This here, let me talk about this. This is their Kimball Midwest. You can see up here. This is their, it's called Ultramax High Performance Sanding Disc. And, it says assembled in the United States of America with imported parts, which is pretty common these days. Here's the ones I use. Look at the difference in the thickness, okay? You see the difference here? Obviously one's going to last much, much longer, this one here. Secondly, you see this one here you have to put on with the washer and stuff. This one here bolts right on to your angle grinder. So it's, it's a much more secure fit. Obviously much, a little bit more costly, but definitely a whole different ball game when look at all these pads. Look how many there are too compared to here, It's just like there's more sanding discs and they're wider, and just I'm anxious to try this out. This thing, and this is a 40 grit. Looks like it's going to be extremely heavy duty, and like I said, I'm looking forward to trying that. Next up, he sent a couple bags of these cotton tip applicators. Let me tell you something. Probably one of my most used tools in the shop is the Humble Q-tip. And the original Q-tip made by Q-tip company. The knockoffs, some of them are just, they're unacceptable, but I use Q-tips every single day in the shop. The first thing I do is I always wipe down my iPhone lens with a little isopropyl alcohol to make sure that it's clear and you're not getting any haze. That's important. Every single day I do that, every time I come down here. Now, these here are, they're wood applicator. My dad used to do, he used to restore hi-fi equipment, things like that. He used to use these all the time, but they're hard to come by and they're not cheap. These are fantastic. If you can get some of these, this is great for all kinds of restorations. The wood tip makes all the difference in the world. And, the wooden shaft, great product. I'm really so thankful for Next up, Kris sent a couple of these blades, and what he likes to do is he takes these blades and he puts handles and makes woodcraft. And again, like on his channel, you'll see all kinds of stuff like that. He does prepping, it does all that kind of stuff, outdoor stuff. But you take a blade like this and you can make a regular wood handle on here, and you have a makeshift, very lightweight. And what nice blades. You can see here, this one here is a 18 teeth per inch. And, and over here is a 24 teeth per inch. You can see the difference in the teeth per inch and how they'll cut. But you can see what they cut through. It's a tungsten alloy, bolts, pipe, cable. I'm really looking forward to coming up with a cool handle for some of these. Wouldn't it be a great project? Next up, as a longtime scouter, Kris sent this awesome array of patches, and as anybody who was in Scouts, you kind of always collected patches. That's what you did. Every time you went to a new camp, you would buy a patch from the camp, or if it was a special event, like here, this Cub Scout Golden Nugget, you would buy a patch to commemorate that event. And then you would, a lot of the old timers, just like in the military, you see the guys got what they call lettuce. They got all their awards on their uniform. Well, in scouting, you would have these guys that had these jackets. And I remember Mr. Wexler, when in my troop, he had oh God, he had this beautiful red wool jacket, which is what they have in scouts. And he had all these old vintage patches across the back. And when I used to see it, it was just like, it was salty, the guy was been around. He had all these patches from all different camps, and they had the years on it. So you'd look at his jacket and you'd see 1965 and you say, wow, so that's why patches are a big thing. And we're all patch collectors, anybody that was in scouts. And look at this one here. Have you ever seen one like this? 100-year anniversary, which was 2010. And this one here, it was a 50th anniversary for the Indian Trails District, which Kris is part of. And you could see here when they had different patches here with a loop on it that you could hang on your pocket, because you can't put them on your uniform, so to speak. So you could hang this from the button of your blouse, we call them the military, or your uniform shirt, and you can have that on for the event, for the time that you're having the event. So what a great array of patches, and some of them were really beautifully done. Look at, that's a nice patch, isn't it? I have a big story about patches. I'll have to tell you sometime why they mean so much to me. Here you can see the Order of the Arrow sash, and just great stuff. I love patches. Now, this was what originally Kris was supposed to send before he got carried away. This is the pencils he was talking about. First of all, he used to work for a company, in a lumber company that went out of business, but he used to work for this lumber company, and I always find that pencils from lumber yards seem to be a little bit better quality. I have some of my most favorite ones come from lumber yards. I like the round pencils too. And Tyvek is a house wrap. Are you familiar with that? This is Tyvek, and I am a huge fan of it. I've been working with it for years. This here, as you could see, is a kite that I made for many years ago. It's been down in the basement. You can see this is an Eddie kite, and this Tyvek is a house wrap, but it's pretty much indestructible. And this, lightweight, very strong. I got to fly this one day on camera. Now, these are the pencils that it all started with. This was from Kris's business that his father and uncle ran, and then it was him and his dad. This is called a bullet pencil. They've become very, very collectible over the years, because years ago, these were given away at lumber yards, all kinds of places like that. And how a bullet pencil works, you could see here, one of the problems with a pencil is you stick it in your pocket. If the point gets broken or whatever, it's kind of a long thing. With a bullet pencil, and look how nice this is, you pull out the inside like this. There was the pencil. You turned it around, placed this back into the top, and you had a beautiful writing pencil that you could replace this bottom piece. You could pull that out if it was getting too short and whatever. But you could see, and then you could, again, you could fold it up like this, put it in here, and then put this into your pocket. Had a pocket clip, eraser. You didn't have to worry about breaking the point. You can always keep these in your regular pocket. What a great little bullet pencils. We never see these anymore because pencils have gone the way of, and I still love pencils. So that's what started this whole thing. Love them.
So you see how quickly things can spiral out of control, huh? He was just going to send me pencils. Anyway, Kris, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Next up, my buddy Ben Mall, he was saying about that he wanted to see, looking at a voltage tester, one of them non-contact ones. And it's so funny because I just got one. I just ordered it because it was like an Amazon special. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
And here we go. For those of you that have never seen one of these before, this is a non-contact voltage test pen. You can see here. And how this works, it's kind of ingenious. And I've seen these on other channels before. I've never had one, and I said, boy, that seems like an interesting thing to have. I always use my volt-ohm meter, which is a great thing to have if you don't have one of those. But what this is here, it's a non-contact voltage detector. And if you have a cord or something and you want to see if there's voltage in, or you're doing any work, it could come in handy 100 different ways. the reason I bought this particular one, it rated very high on Amazon. It happened to be on sale. They're very inexpensive, and I'll put the link of what it is. And it, like I said, it rates good. Let's try it out. I've never tried one of these before, and let's check it out, see how it works. Let's put up the batteries in. It comes with batteries. Let's try it out. Okay, so how this works is there's an on-off button here and a flashlight on the bottom that, has a little flashlight if you're working in a dark area. So now let's say we want to check and see if there's any voltage coming to this extension cord here. So what you do is you press the top button here until it turns on, okay? It'll show you a light that says it's turned on. Now when I come here, if I want to see if there's voltage here, I just have to come close to the line. Hear that beeping? That means there's voltage in this line. Now, if you want to check here, like in the front, this little probe can go in here. Now, this is the neutral, this is the hot, right? The neutral is the wider one, the hot is to the left. Watch this. We put this in, you hear how slow it's beeping? And you see it's only 2 lights, that's the neutral. Now, when I put it in the hot, you see how we got the full bar and it's beeping quicker? So it registers the voltage, and it's a very interesting thing. And you could tell if you have a break in the line. You could follow this all the way down to see if you have a break in the line. You could see which side. You could see if we rotate it around, that's the hot side. The hot side of the wire is on. It's just so many different ways you can use this. Now here we have a cord going to a clip light here. If you want to see what the cord, I touch here. And then you touch the other side. You can see that's the neutral because it's beeping slow. And this side's the hot. Isn't that amazing? I love this thing. It's all kinds. You can have all kinds of fun with it. So this is a non-contact voltage detector. Definitely worth the money, and especially if you're working on something you're not sure if you're getting power. It's always good to have. Okay, next up, last week I was working with my ratchets, my old Craftsman ratchets, and I just had enough. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Let's get to that right now. Okay, now these are my ratchets that I've had since this was one of the first ratchet sets I ever bought. It was a 3-piece set, came with a bunch of sockets and everything. A Craftsman, good quality. And, it's a standard ratchet set, and they're very strong, but I am super easy on my tools. I don't abuse my tools. If I see if I'm using too much force, I'll use a breaker bar where, if you're a professional or something, you don't got time to switch, you tend to wear your tools down a little bit. But I'm very easy on my tools. You could see these things are like 30 years old, and look how nice they are, right? So what I always hated about these, I can't stand, is they don't have a quick release. So when you put a socket on here, right? When you snap a socket on, now especially if your hands you're wearing gloves, your hands got a little grease on them, you can't get this damn socket off of here. I mean, there are times where I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating now. I can't get this thing. There we go. It is just, and I was working the other day and I said, that's it, I'm done with these things. I don't use ratchets that don't have a quick release anymore. Maybe if I needed something heavy duty or something, I might, but that's it. So I said, I need something now that I could throw in my toolbox as everyday beater. So I went on Amazon and, I looked at the cheapest ones because, like I said, I'm very easy on my tools. I just want these as kind of a spare just to get around. And I got these SATAs, okay? I don't even know how you pronounce the name. But this is a 3-piece set, lifetime warranty, whatever that means. They're made in China, so you know what that means. But I went on my my buddy Snap Ring Chronicles channel and checked out his review. He reviews every ratchet out there, and he was, he said they're decent ratchets for the money. So these were, for the set of 3, they were under $30. Under $30. How can you beat that, for a beater? So, and they have a prototype design, which I like. Let me show you what they look like. Okay, and here they are. Like I said, these are SATA or SATA, whatever you pronounce it, but really beautifully made. The fit and finish on here is far beyond anything I've seen ever come out of China. I mean, it is absolutely perfect. Not a blemish, not a scratch on it, a lot of fingerprints from me messing with it. Even these corners here, these edges, smoothed out like they've been in a tumbler. 90 teeth, nice and smooth. Sockets go on like just so easy, so easy, and then they come off so easy too. That's just what I wanted. That's all I wanted. Quick release. I got the 3 sizes here. Nice, just they feel nice. Metal selector switch over here. The handle is very comfortable, ergonomic. A little bit of decorative knurling here. just beautiful. I mean, how can you beat this? And again, I'm you know me, I'm not a tool snob, yet I'm not a fan of Chinese stuff, but when every once in a while stuff will come out of there, you got to jump on it because you never know what, you can't trust the stuff. But really nice set. And like I said, I went to Snap Ring Chronicles, and he ripped these apart, took them apart, check out the insides, and he said they look like typical proto clones. So there you go. Just I had to replace these. These things were just annoying the hell out of me, and now I can't use them. I can't. Every time you try and pull that socket off, I got to fight with it. I was almost threw it across the room.
I can't believe it's over 20 minutes. See, that's what I mean. It goes so fast, and I try not to make these videos long, but you know what? My mouse had another litter. I know. Tommy Carolla just said, "Oh, geez," again. That's it. Another 10, I think she had just last night. And that's 3 litters in less than 3 months. And, now they're separated. They're all separated. But she must have got pregnant like 2 days after she gave birth the first time. So I think we're going to call that original mouse Romeo, because he's that guy. He's got some libido, that little guy, huh? Thank God he's separated now. Anyway, so now I have like 36. But I'm telling you, they're good. They're good. They hang out. They sing. All right. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care now. Bye-bye.